Skadal Skadash Shmiraba Omadi Virak Yerusim Yamli Babusim Yatmat Burkani Vikar Mishike Yevin Vimechen Vichayet Chalbeis Israel Bagalo Bisman Kari Vimru Amen Shmiraba Vivarak Omel Baya Yispari Shtabat Vispari Bisnase Sadorvi Salavi Salo Shmid Kucha Burichu Amen Elam Ikal Rakasa Vishira Satur Rakasa Vechama Sadamiram Ba'oma Vimru Amen Al Yisrael Arapana Valtamidem Al Tamidei Samidei Al Manda Askim Bairai Sadivasa David Asar Asar Eloin Lahain Shpama Rabba Kin Bikistum Rachmin the Kain Adir Zeni Rabin Over Kana Minkana when Shmaya Vibru Amen Yehish no Rabba Mincha-Maariv Chaim Tev Malin Vat Yisrael Vibru Amen Praise Hashem Rim Abu Yashem Malin Vat Yisrael Vibru Amen
Amen. Hashem Night in Jewish history.
All right, very.
Oh.
Right.
Right. So today's Jewish history tonight is the yard site of the Marshal. The Marshal, also a commentary on the Talmud. You see in the back of the Talmud, around the Gemaras, and the Yamshel Shlomo. He's a brilliant scholar and a great person, and one of the greatest of the generation. He passed away in 1573. And tonight is also the yard site of Yossi Kazin, who is the founder of the first Jewish website. In fact, he's founder of one of the first websites at all. He used to work down the hall from Harry Kornblitz's office on the other side. Not so far down the hall, right?
The ice in a cup.
Eyes in the cup,
Something new my father opened computer. The computer was the ice in a cup.
Yeah.
Metal brain.
There was a staircase in between the offices, right? Little dip.
Always.
In the hallway, the dip between the two offices, but if you go to the Smithsonian, there's in the Museum of Internet Museum, whatever it's called, they have there an exhibit on the first website, and that's one of the websites here. The original Quad.org. Anyway, the yard site tonight is he passed away very young. Passed away on his laptop in the hospital bed. He was constantly updating and they said he was working at the last minute. Anyway, all right, so we're in the middle of learning about last time we were finishing discussing how it's interesting how Reform, how even though they say they don't believe in rabbinical mitzvahs, still they do Hanukkah. They celebrate it. Not just they celebrate it in the Hajj. Remember, the Hajj is the most beautiful way. Go figure. What does it mean? It means that they do believe. They do believe in mitzvahs that are rabbinical mitzvahs. They're just saying that. I don't know why they say it. But maybe for attention or whatever. But it's clearly not true. Otherwise, they wouldn't celebrate Hanukkah. And Reform temples do celebrate Hanukkah. So it's obviously, I don't know why they say that. It reminds me of the story of, my father says the story was that he was down here now. He says the story that he was, where he was to travel for Kashrus, and he was in Virginia somewhere in a hotel, and there was there was a man driving his station wagon over there, the days of station wagons, and he said, he's my father, he says, "You're a Lubavitcher?" And he said, "Yeah." Good guess, right? And he said, "I have a story for you." He said, this guy said that he was a Satmar Chassid, and he couldn't have children for many years. He said the Satmar Rebbe told him to go to the Rebbe. And he went to the Rebbe, and he went, and they were asking, "Tell me what's going on in Satmar." And he said that the Satmar Rebbe, had a siyum for Masechta, I don't know what Masechta it is, but the Gemara says at the end of the Gemara says a story there about that the Yidden are compared, Jewish people are compared to a pomegranate. That just like a pomegranate has so many seeds, even even the sinners have a lot of seeds. You have a lot of mitzvahs, just like pomegranate is full of mitzvahs. Same thing, every Yid is filled with mitzvahs. Even a sinner is filled with mitzvahs like a pomegranate. Full of seeds. And he spoke about that Gemara over there, and he said, "I don't understand how they could be." He left with a question. I don't understand how it could be that they're filled with mitzvahs, like a pomegranate, if they're filled with averos, full of sins. So the Rebbe said, I also learned that Gemara, and I had a different question. How could it be the Gemara calls them Paishi Yisrael, sinner, if they're filled with mitzvahs like a pomegranate? Anyway, then the Rebbe gave him a bracha, and he showed, and the child, he showed my father-in-law his car filled with children. To open the Rebbe's bracha. Okay. What was the Rebbe saying? The Rebbe was saying that for a Yid, every single second that we're just doing nothing. We're just sitting here right now, we're doing nothing. Okay, we're learning. But if we were doing nothing, we're just absolutely nothing. We're still getting 365 negative commandments we're fulfilling right now. Because right now, even if we were killing a minute ago, right now we're not killing anybody, so we get a mitzvah for not killing anybody. So the Gemara is saying, even a sinner, every single second we're cashing in, we're just cashing in on mitzvahs every single second. So Rebbe asked, how could it be if we have so many mitzvahs, how could the Gemara say we're considered a sinner? Right? Different way of looking at it. And so the question, how could the Reform say they don't believe in mitzvahs that are rabbinical mitzvahs? Clearly they do. They're celebrating Hanukkah. Whatever the case is, so the way we do it is every single night, Shulchan Aruch says, we add a candle. Now, it's interesting, the Gemara brings two opinions, the Mishnah brings two opinions on this. It's Beisham and Beisil. Beisham says you start off the first night with 8 candles. Second night of Hanukkah, we go to 7 candles. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just like the Parei HaChag, just like the Karbanas, the sacrifices which took place on Sukkot, every day they went down in number. Hillel says that no, we go up, start with 1, and we have to go to 2, next day 3. Why? Because he says when it comes to anything in Kedusha, anything in holiness, we always add in holiness, but we don't take away in holiness. And so that's the way it is with Hanukkah. That's halacha. We always constantly increasing in holiness. Now, since our custom is that everybody lights a menorah, every male lights a menorah, therefore, we have to make sure that each menorah has its place. And it's not all mumble jumble. In other words, let's say you're making a menorah out of potatoes. Let's say you don't have an exact menorah like we have fancy menorahs today. Let's say you're making a menorah out of potatoes, but you can make a menorah out of anything. Let's say you have a menorah potato menorah. Or you're making a menorah out of Budweiser bottle. So you're putting it in order, right? You're putting the 8th in the shamash, you're putting it in order. You're putting 8 potatoes and the 9th potato, a double potato, a sweet potato in the middle, whatever, right? But you have to make sure that you don't have the next guy's potatoes right next to it. Otherwise, you can't any longer tell it's a menorah. It just looks like you're making latkes cutting up French fries and you put candles inside. Birthday, potato birthday cake. It looks like. And so the Shulchan Aruch tells you got to make sure each one is spelled out differently. Each one is clear. This way you see exactly how many candles there are and what night of Hanukkah it is. Now, you should also not light it in the same place you light candles the rest of the year. So let's say, you could probably do the Shabbos candles. The point is, you should see that it's special for Hanukkah. In any case, you're using, today most of the time we don't use potatoes. So if you're not using potatoes, if it's a menorah, you can tell it's a Hanukkah menorah. Right? It's special for menorah. If you're using Budweiser bottles, then maybe you can't tell, maybe it's Shabbos candles. Maybe it's your tailgate party. You have a custom to light them. But if it's Hanukkah, if it's clearly a menorah, then you shouldn't have that problem anywhere. However, you should have something to show. The point is that you show it's for Hanukkah and not for any other reason. Who's outside? Monty's here, right? So we can do 2 millions. So you're a Chiyuv, right? Maariv. 2 millions. We do 6 on 6.
If you don't have enough, it's not a problem.
Sure. But we could even do 6 on 6. And then each one answers for the other.
I think that would be confusing for me.
So confusing? You sure?
Yeah, I'll get confused.
Okay. All right, my page 118. Artists or just your side? Huh? Yeah,
Adonai Elohim emes. Ravana Viras Ishivoid Lishma Usivirat Zaine Kibu Ale and Meshur in Israel of Anu Shira Rabba Fulam Kidu Nimeshaza Elian of Yamelu. The name of the one man, my father, the Nisa, again, Baruch, Adonai, God Israel. President was only out the long hill, Sherman Rasley was Adonai. Shemer, it's Amma Israel, Skadal, Skadash, Shmirabba, all the Divina Virus of Yahweh, that's what Skadash Shmiraba. Oh, what even after you stand with us, we ask for Kani Vikar Mishita. Kaya can give it the head of the Strava, go with my current view. Amen. Shmiraba, my Yisparin, Pishaba, first name of East Nas, and the result of the Lord, with the Kucha Britu. Then look over Hospital, so the husband of us, the Ramon, Amen. It's Kamas Most Most, the Holy Stock, and we'll be trying, Amen. Yes, Lord, I'm trying to million like Israel, Amen. Please, we have to show Amen. Ye Adonai Echad U'Shmai Echad. Skadal Skadash Shmiraba. Omadi Berach Yerusei V'Yachlech Malchus V'Yasmach Markani V'Kardu V'Shichei. Yeichon V'Yemeichen V'Chai Dechol Beis Yisrael V'Agalo V'Zman Kari V'Imru Amen. Yei Shmiraba V'Barach V'Alem V'Maya Yisparin V'Shtabach Yisparin V'Yisrael V'Yisnasei. Yisandar V'Yisrael V'Yisrael Shmei V'Kutsha V'Richu. Ein Lamikol V'Chazah V'Shira Asad V'Shbechazah V'Netam Asad Amira V'Oma V'Imru Amen. Yehish Lamaraba Mincha-Maariv V'Chayim Tevim Aleinu V'Alkol Yisrael V'Imru Amen. Praise the Shalom Rema V'Yat Shalom Aleinu V'Alkol Yisrael V'Imru Amen. Skadash, Shmiraba, Oh, Madi Berach Yerusei V'Yachlech Malchus V'Yasmach Markani V'Kardu V'Shichei. Hayeichen V'Yemeichen V'Chai Dechol Beis Yisrael V'Agalo V'Zman Kari V'Imru Amen. Yei Shmiraba Mevarach V'Alem V'Maya Yisparin V'Shtabach Yisparin V'Yisrael V'Yisnasei. Darby Salavi Salos with a good job. Lami Glover Casa Bishira, Satush Bepasa Veneta Masa, Miramahoma, Libru Amen. Always Roma, Banabata Midea, in the Kota Mide Samide, in the Komanda Askim Raisa, Divasa, David Diva Palasar, Razar. Yehi Lahain Lachain Shnavarava, Kinevich Navarata, in the Kaina, Livin, Muzena Vicha, Perkana, Minka, Dmapua, in Divishmaya, Imru Amen. Yehi Shnavarava, Mincha-Maariv, the Kayan Kevim, Aleinu Israel, Imru Amen. Praise the Shalom Rema, V'Yat Shalom Aleinu Israel, Imru Amen.
Amen. Tomorrow morning, 8:40. Also, the cipher is going to be here tomorrow. If anyone needs their mezuzah, still check. The cipher will be here tomorrow. Check the mezuzahs. Next week, Tuesday night. Tuesday night. Yeah, Tuesday night. Next week, Tuesday night, we're going to have a sit-down dinner for Brengen, inspirational for Brengen.